down, and oh, my soul so weary. When troubles come and my heart burden me, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up. No, the next. Hold on. The next poem. I have a poem before this song. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. Raise me up to more than I can be. How much time left on it? Alright, well, knowledge is power, and then play the music to take it to the break. Your shoulders, you raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up to more than I can be.
Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106.
Walk into Marjan's Pharmacy and you different. Marjan's Pharmacy, code 876. Marjan's Pharmacy is
215.
Supreme Real Estate, licensed real estate dealers. The residential, commercial, industrial, hotels, and villa sales, rentals, and leases. Supreme Real Estate, Main Street, Salem, Runaway Bay, St. Anne. Call 876-973-5026 or 876-973-6142 and email supremerealestate@cwjamaica.com.
Hello? Mommy, is who a ticket?
Hush, child, me no want them see we.
But mommy, is the census takers?
Me not tell them my business.
But mommy, they need information about all the households to help make things like clinics, stores, and new roads.
So?
You count, me count, all our count.
Data collection for the census continues. Soon, a census taker will be coming to you. Look out for them and let them know you count.
Your health is key to your wealth. Suffering from muscle, joint, neck, back, and other pain? The Rehabilitation Institute of the Caribbean, in association with Winchester MRI, Immune Active Denc, and Almighty Studios present Rehabilitation Now, a 30-minute feature on physical medicine and rehabilitation for persons overcoming pain or dysfunction from injury or disease that affects muscles, tendons, nerves, and joints. Rehabilitation Now with rehabilitation physician Dr. Paula Dawson and host Alicia Taylor airs every Friday at 3:30 p.m. during Both Sides of the Story with Dervan Malcolm on Power 106. Free your body from aches and pain with Rehabilitation Now, right here on Power 106 FM.
I am strong when I am on your shoulders. Raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders.
Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106. Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106. Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106.
Blessings on the hand of women. Angels guard its strength and grace. In the palace, cottage, hovel, oh, no matter where the place. Would that never storms assailed it, rainbows ever gently curled. For the hand that rocks the cradle is the hand that rules the world. Infancy's the tender fountain, power may with beauty flow. Mothers first to guide the streamlets, from them souls unresting grow. Grow on for the good or evil, sunshine streamed or evil hurled. For the hands that rock the cradle, for the hand that rocks the cradle is the hand that rules the world. Woman, how divine your mission here upon our natal sod. Keep, oh, keep the young heart open always to the breath of God. All true trophies of the ages are from mother love impearled. For the hand that rocks the cradle is the hand that rules the world. Blessings on the hand of women, Fathers, sons, and daughters cry, and the sacred song is mingled with the worship in the sky. Mingles where no tempest darkens, rainbows evermore are hurled, for the hand that rocks the cradle is the hand that rules the world.
It must have been cold there in my shadow to never have sunlight on your face. You've been content to let me shine. You always walked a step behind. I was the one with all the glory. You were the one with all the strength. Only a face without a name. I never once heard you complain. Did you ever know that you're my hero? Everything I would like to be. I can fly higher than an eagle.
Sir,
You
did
are
you
the
receive any of
wind
this?
beneath my
Did you
wings.
receive this interview at 3:30?
Okay, thanks.
Might have appeared to go unnoticed, but I've got it all here in my heart. I want you to know I know the truth. I would be nothing without you. Did you ever know that you're my hero? Everything I would like to be. Oh, I can fly higher than an eagle. You are the wind beneath my wings.
Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106.
She walks in beauty like the night of cloudless climes and starry skies, and all that's best of dark and bright meet in her aspect and her eyes, thus mellowed to that tender light which heaven to gaudy day denies. One shade the more, one ray the less, had half impaired the nameless grace, which waves in every raven tress, or softly lightens o'er her face, where thoughts serenely sweet express, how pure, how dear their dwelling place. And on that cheek and o'er that brow, so soft, so calm, yet eloquent, the smiles that win, the tints that glow, but tell of days in goodness spent, a mind at peace with all below, a heart whose love is innocent. Can't help smiling when I look at you. To keep me going, they say, that's all I can do. I'm so defenseless with you so close. Walls will crumble from my body and soul. Write your name across my heart. I want the world to know that I am yours forever. And I'll wear it like a shining star. Write your name across my heart. For you, my life is an open door. Everything I have is yours. I'll try to give you everything you need. But as far as love will go, it's a lifetime guarantee. Write your name across my heart. I want the world to know that I am yours forever. And I'll wear it like a shining star. Write your name across my heart. In all my thoughts, in all I do, all I say, I belong to you with every breath I take. Write your name, write your name across my heart. I want the world to know that I am yours forever. And I'll wear it like a shining star. Write your name across my heart. And I'll wear it like a shining star. Write your name across my heart.
Knowledge. Class is in session. Power 106.
Indeed, as you can tell by virtue of our selections, it's a very special edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, here on Power 106 FM. We started out with the words of Proverbs 31, 10 to 31, virtuous woman. Then we mixed that with You Raise Me Up by Josh Groban, followed by The Hand That Rocks the Cradle is the Hand That Rules the World. That one is by William Ross Wallace. And then Wind Beneath My Wings, Kenny Rogers, followed by the poem She Walks in Beauty by George Gordon Byron, who, by the way, had Jamaican connections. And then we gave you another Kenny Rogers, Write Your Name. You will hear in a moment, if you didn't know, why we are sharing with you these selections on a day like today. It's the International Decade of Healthy Aging, the International Decade of Ecosystem Restoration, the International Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development, the Decade of Action for Road Safety, and the UN International Decade of Indigenous Languages. It's the 8th day of the 3rd month of 2023, the International Year of Millets. A millet is a cereal grown in warm countries and regions with poor soils, bearing a large crop of small seeds, which are chiefly used to make flour. 2023 is also the International Year of Dialogue as a guarantee of peace. Here in Jamaica and in the United States, the month of March is being observed as Intellectual Disabilities Awareness Month. Also in the US, March is Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month, Endometriosis Awareness Month, and Salt Awareness Month. And in the UK, March is also Prostate Awareness Month. In other observances on this, the 8th of March, it's World, oh gosh, we have a lot more to add. It's March is also, if we left that out just now, March is also Women's History Month. The month of March is Women's History Month. It's World Kidney Day today, the 8th of March. Commonwealth countries around the world are marking Commonwealth Day. It's Decoration Day in Liberia, Mother's Day in Bulgaria, Revolution Day in Syria, and San Juan de Dios is being commemorated in Peru. It's the 112th and the time. Tell you more in a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:32 on Power 106.
It's riveting, thought-provoking, and interesting. It's the morning agenda on Power 106 FM. Weekdays, 7:15 to 9 a.m. Join Jody and Quarry on Mondays and Tuesdays, and Sanjay Lewis on Wednesdays and Thursdays, while they alternate on Fridays, as they set your agenda and break down the issues, and keep you informed on what matters to you most. It's the morning agenda on Power 106 FM. Weekdays, 7:15 to 9 a.m. only on Power 106 FM.
Hoy es miércoles el 8 de marzo 2023 y les saludamos en cualquier parte del mundo que nos están escuchando en este momento. Estamos muy agradecidos por el don de la vida y el privilegio de servirles en otra edición de su programa Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia. Nunca vamos a tomar su audiencia por sentado, porque sabemos que ustedes tienen otras opciones, y esta es la razón por la cual jamás olvidamos darle las gracias por elegir Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia, de lunes a viernes desde las 2 hasta las 5 de la tarde, aquí en Power 106 FM. La misión continúa para educar, capacitar, iluminar y estimular el espíritu empresarial. Bienvenidos. C'est mercredi le 8 mars 2023 et nous vous saluons tous qui nous écoutez où que vous soyez dans le monde. Nous sommes reconnaissants du don de la vie ainsi que du privilège d'être à votre service pour une nouvelle édition de votre programme Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre. Nous ne considérons pas votre fidélité comme l'un du soi parce que nous savons que vous avez l'embarras du choix. C'est pourquoi nous n'oublions jamais de vous remercier de choisir d'écouter Both sides of the story, le pour et le contre, du lundi au vendredi de 2h à 5h de l'après-midi sur notre antenne Power 106 FM. Nous continuons notre mission d'éduquer, d'habiliter, d'éclairer et d'encourager l'esprit d'entreprise. Bienvenue. All we're saying is it's Wednesday, the 8th of March, 2023, and we greet you well wherever in the world you are listening to us right now. We remain eternally grateful for the gift of life and the privilege to serve you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story. We don't ever take your listenership for granted because we know you have choices. And that's why we never ever forget to remember to say thanks for choosing to listen to Both Sides of the Story, Monday to Friday, 2 to 5, right here on Power 106 FM. The mission continues to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Welcome.
You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up from stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. Raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up to more than I can be.
Good afternoon to those of you listening to us on 106.1, 106.3, 106.5, 106.7, and 106.9. From Morant Point to Negril Point, from the Goat Islands to Galena Point. This is Power 106 FM, serving Jamaica and the diaspora. Hello to those tuned in via the Power 106 FM app, which you have downloaded from the App Store or the Google Play Store. Depending on the nature of your device, downloading is free, listening is free, whenever, wherever. We acknowledge those of you who have dialed a number to listen to Power 106 FM from the United States and the United Kingdom. Those in the US who wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM can call 631-359-8281, 631-359-8281. If you're in the United Kingdom and you wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM, your number is 0330-606-0953, 0330-606-0953. We're streaming live video on the Dervan Malcolm Facebook page. If you're not there yet, log on to Facebook. In the search box atop the page, type DERVAN MALCOLM, and you too will be able to not just hear, but see what's happening in the studios of Power 106 FM. If you don't have a Facebook account, no sweat. There's always YouTube. All you need is a smartphone, a tablet, computer, laptop, desktop, any one of those. Then you need internet connection. But more importantly than internet connection is internet connectivity. One sure way to test for connectivity is by opening a browser like Google Chrome, for example. And if you're able to browse, you're good to go. If not, then you might need some assistance. How about that? What's on your mind this afternoon? We're taking your calls on 876 922-411-225. 876-922-411-225. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us via WhatsApp as well. That number is 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. Good afternoon to Alexander Taylor. She says, greetings, my dear friend Dervan. To you too, Alexander Taylor. Faye Weller says, blessed afternoon, Mr. Dervan and listeners. Good afternoon, Faye Weller. Norman Hines says, blessed afternoon, Sir Dervan Malcolm. I just want to say happy International Women's Day to all the lovely ladies out there. We join you in conveying those sentiments. Norman Hines, thank you. Audrey Smith says, afternoon, Dervan and listeners everywhere, listening from a very cold Southampton. We're having heavy snow showers here. It's a cold blast we're having from the Arctic coming over. It's only lasting for 48 hours, but boy, it's cold. Take care, everyone, says Audrey Smith in Southampton in England. And you do likewise, Audrey Smith. Thank you so much. Natalie Winter says, hey, Dervan, have a good day. See you soon. Have a good day to you too. And we will see you soon. All the best. To the phone lines now, 876-922-411-225. 876-922-411-225. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, my radio professor.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm good in Dervan in the Portmore here, looking up into a mango tree and listening to the program, you know?
Thank you.
Yeah, Portmore going to need bees, yeah?
To make honey?
No, to help to pollinate the plants over here and the fruit trees.
Oh.
Because if you have a parish, you know, you're going to need more fruit trees.
That's right, as opposed to ornamental trees.
Thank you, sir, because being a parish, the parish will have to be able to sustain itself, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the sustenance is agriculture.
Yep.
So appealing to the Ministry of Agriculture and the Parish Council of Port, put it on your agenda to tell the Prime Minister that before him turn Portmore into a parish, make sure him think about the bees over here, because we don't want dogs to start eat puss and people start eat mongoose in Portmore, you know.
Well, God forbid.
You know that mongoose over here enough.
I did realize that. I know they're well, I've known of them being plentiful in St. Catherine. I don't know if because of the vast plains of St. Catherine.
What happened is that during the sugar cane,
mm-hmm.
there was a lot of rats over here killing the sugar cane industry.
Yes.
And they brought in mongoose.
Right. I know a bit of that history too. Yes, go ahead.
And they know the mongoose over here now.
Mm-hmm.
People fed up on them and start blocking off where they live underneath the house bottom.
Yes.
And the mongooses are now attacking homes.
Oh dear.
Looking for food at night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, my brother tell me say 2 mongoose visiting in my living room the other night watching TV. Yeah, man, the first place they entered was the kitchen.
Those must be Jamaican mongooses.
Them faster than them faster than the rat.
Oh,
Dervan, we have to take bad things make laugh. But I want to wish all the women a happy National Women's Day.
In conveying those sentiments.
Dervan, you know, if you want to understand women better,
mm-hmm.
you have to study an animal known as the black widow spider.
I think I've heard about that before. I don't remember the details, but I've heard.
When we're studying the black widow spider,
yes,
study the ways of the black widow female spider
mm-hmm.
and the ways of the black widow male spider, and you will understand most of the what they call it. I don't know how to pronounce this word all the while, Dervan, help me with it.
Idiosyncrasies, yes.
Thank you, my professor.
Mm-hmm.
Of women in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
You know one of the secrets that I find out with women, Dervan?
What's that?
Like my spouse.
Mm-hmm.
You save me $50,000 to give her.
Yes.
It's better you save it up 10 and give her the $50,000 one time
mm-hmm.
than give her 10,000 5 times.
Oh.
Yeah, it have a better psychological impact on her
Mm-hmm.
than the little piece of money.
In fact, I don't know if it's a trait unique or a tendency or a peculiarity unique to the female, but I used to hear my mother talking about that in ways that she don't like when you mash up the money like that or something like that.
So my prophet,
One moment, please.
You raise me up.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:45.
Tune in every Thursday at 3:30 p.m. for Your Legal Corner with Daily Walker Huntington, during both sides of the story with Dervan Malcolm on Power 106 FM. It's your source of information regarding U.S. immigration matters, combined with Power 106 FM's pioneer of diaspora broadcasting. Call in with your U.S. immigration queries and concerns on 876-922-41125 or send a text or WhatsApp message to 876-279-8598 and get the answers you need for your U.S. immigration questions. That's Your Legal Corner with Daily Walker Huntington, Thursdays at 3:30 p.m. during both sides of the story with Dervan Malcolm, only on Power 106 FM.
To walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on.
On this International Women's Day, thank you so much for staying with us on your program, Both Sides of the Story. Happy International Women's Day to the women of the world. Yes, sir, Neville.
yes, Dervan. So them don't like when you mash up the money and give them because they too have to have a steady budget.
Yeah, worse when you loan a certain amount of money, like the $50,000, for example, and then you find that you're getting it back from the borrower in pieces.
Thank you, Dervan. Another thing that we notice about women is that if you show them your pay slip, that will be better off for you. They won't pre you and think that you're squandering your money.
Right. Well, that kind of approach is what is needed in more of our relationships. We need to just level with each other.
Yes, Dervan, and she show you a pay slip too, so that you know where your financial security lies.
Right.
Can't bother with the hide and seek in the house, you know.
Mm-mm.
No, that's not going anywhere and it can't sustain the economy.
That's right.
Because one of the things that we need to know as a people is that the budget that the finance minister lay on the table, two things about the budget. The teachers, the nurses, and the doctors, and the policemen, they must know that the salary scales of the budget was not designed for them to drive cars or any iron vehicle. When they're budgeting over the Ministry of Finance about salary scale, they don't think about what car the teacher drives, how much is your mortgage, how much children you have, or what you buy at the supermarket. It is not negotiated that way. They do it based on the money that they allocate to each ministry.
Right.
You have to go work out the mathematics with your spouse like you're doing an algebraic equation, my professor.
Yep.
And the teacher say A plus B equals 16. You must go find what is your
What
A
is
and
A
what
and
is
what?
your B.
That's right.
You're not the government. So most people have it wrong, like say, because they name teacher, they must live certain place, drive certain vehicle. No, that's where the family come in. And the male and the female must cohabitate properly and share and care and split the bill.
Yeah.
Yes, a man teacher earning 120 a month and a female teacher earning 120, that's 240 coming in the house. That must budget out.
Absolutely.
Yes, Dervan. So I just putting this on your show. But I want to make another suggestion on your show, Dervan. If you study Usain Bolt, you see? Usain Bolt is the richest Jamaican athlete in Jamaica who lives in Jamaica. The only Jamaican who is richer than Usain Bolt as a sportsman, a born Jamaican, is an athlete known as Patrick Ewing. But he lives in America. And one of the reasons, if you listen to Usain Bolt and look at him at the Gibson relay and see him profile, Usain Bolt is not fretting on the $2 billion that him losing. And him not bitter with nobody. Him talk to you good and him shake your hand and him make you feel good. You know why? Because Usain Bolt has earned so much royalty from his sponsors that up to last year, December, Forbes magazine is letting the world know that Puma alone gave Usain Bolt $10 million for his endorsement. Okay?
And I think he's entitled to a certain portion every until such time.
Yes, and if we can develop more people like Usain Bolt through sports, would be better off as a country and as a people because the government don't budget for sports in our culture. Dervan, I put it to you, Dervan Malcolm, my professor on radio, with your links that you have in the diaspora, sir. See if we can organize with the Gleaner group, put all the sportsmen and the sportswomen together at work, and your links in the diaspora, and have a telethon, or a radiothon, or whatever ton you want to call it with your flavor, and see if we can get some sponsor for sports in Jamaica now. Because Jamaica have to go back to the World Cup, the male World Cup, 4 years time, and we have to go use sports as a motivator for these young males in the country because the government that budgeting for it is nothing in the budget for sports. Fundamentally, Dervan.
Oh, and I need to check that out. I haven't had the opportunity to go through that big book yet.
Yeah, because this radio station, hey, Dervan, I'm going to tell you something again. You know, when you strip the budget and you're looking at the different ministry with the advertisement that they give out, why is it that a certain radio station gets so much proportion of the ads when compared to other radio stations like the Cleaner Group? Why do you think, sir?
Maybe because there are surveys, media surveys that have been done that indicate that there is a particular program or a particular time of day, etc., that has very good listenership and they want to capitalize on it, and so they put it in that segment. And sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Prophet.
No, I was going to say, and people have preferences. So, for example, in as much as I can, in as much as you don't hear a lot of commercials in this program, the fact of the matter is that there are those who, for whatever reason, feel connected with the program, and when the opportunity presents itself, they come forward to say, hey, we would like you to do this broadcast or do this program or do this feature, or would like to sponsor this this initiative, etc., etc. So it depends. It comes, but I know the general word that is out there on the streets. So
because we're dealing with government here who's supposed to be catering for the whole population.
Yeah, but you know, the first time this came up, I think Naomi, I've heard less of her these days, but Naomi Francis, I think she published it or she declared it in some forum or another, indicating the spread of government commercials on different media houses, and it was, some people found it very surprising considering what their perception of that particular media house
we need
is.
to destroy this inequity among us, Dervan.
Yeah, but I personally don't have a problem with people choosing. I mean, people are free to choose where they want to advertise for whatever reason. It's neither here nor there for me. My hope always is that I will do a good enough job to at least get people to pay attention.
Yeah, because substance over form. But I want to ask you this question as a professor leave.
Mm-hmm.
And the people can share their thoughts on this. Those men that the Chief Justice free from the case this morning and tell them to go home and be better citizens, you think that they're going to go back into Spanish Town and take up the Bible and go to church?
Well, the based on historically speaking, and based on data, you would think that the chances are higher for recidivism. Uh, that is, those previously either held in custody or convicted, etc., that the they're likely to recommit and to end up back there. Whether that will happen
Where's there?
in prison.
Okay. So
Mhm.
there's nothing over there to change their mind from that type of living.
Uh, well, it's a rat race, really, where that is concerned. I mean,
Hey!
yes.
That's what I would suggest to the people in the market district who supporting these extortionists. Go and pay your NIS, this tax here, and your NHT, and stop giving these gangsters your money so that the old people can get some more NIS pension. Because I don't hear the minister talk nothing about any increase in pension for the NIS worker.
Yeah,
Pensioners around here.
yeah, it's such an announcement. There was an announcement made in that speech, wasn't there? About it. Oh no, that's the. Sorry, I'm mixing it up with the minimum wage. It's the minimum wage. They say the minister will make a significant announcement where
They're
that is
planning to
concerned.
raise the minimum wage to
Mm.
between 12 to 15,000. Most of the people who are on the panel agree to 15,000. And I want to ask the question now, Dervan. Do you think a lot of these gas stations, supermarket, beauty salon and corner shop, restaurant will be willing to cut their profit margin to help the workers?
Uh, I I don't see that happening.
Take care, my professor.
You too.
Argument done.
Mhm. Thanks for the call. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Here is a message. Sydney, where does it start? Uh, no, am I seeing Thursday? Today. Oh, this says, hi, afternoon, sir. The blind man from Bull Bay, Mr. Robinson, is asking if you have the Bible for him. No, I'm sorry. I I have committed to going to pick it up, and all the arrangements have long been made. But then all of this has clashed with my already hectic schedule, and I've made a couple of attempts to go, but then something else having to detour to deal with other matters. But I'm committed to doing it, and hopefully before this week is out, and the week ends on Saturday. So please, Mr. Robinson, if you're listening, it's not recalcitrance at all. It's just life. Life happens sometimes, despite our best efforts. Life happens, and we have to make adjustments. But we're hoping to have that done and dusted this by the end of this week. And as I said, the week ends on Saturday. Thank you very much for your message. Michael from Bell Plain in Clarendon, good afternoon. Good to hear from you as usual. He says, good afternoon, teacher, to you and your listeners. I was here listening to the minister yesterday, and I heard nothing about the pension. Keep safe, teacher. All right. Well, I would imagine when the Minister of Labor and Social Security speaks, whenever that is, uh, that we will hear something with respect to pensions. In the meantime, whatever we can do on our own as workers, let us do what we can, because pension money will never be enough, as we like to say on this program. It will never be enough. And so whatever we can do to cause it to potentially be more by the time we get to retirement age, let's do it. Let's not wait on insofar as that is possible. Let's not wait on government or the private entities to, out of the goodness of their heart, or in the name of helping poor people, etc. Uh, we still should continue doing what we need to do to try and secure some kind of pension. One moment, please.
To walk on stormy
Contractors, developers, and small builders. Contact Coast to Coast Group of Companies for high quality concrete products. The time by Coast to Coast Group of Companies is
3 o'clock.
Dr. Jackie Campbell is on call this and every Wednesday evening at 8 with Powering Your Health. Powering Your Health is Power 106 FM's flagship program dedicated to health and wellness. Your one-stop place to power a healthy lifestyle. How can we help you to power your health? You can reach the show anytime by calling 876-922-4112 or by sending a text or WhatsApp message to 876-279-8598. Brought to you by Benson Pharmacy and Wellington Dental. That's Powering Your Health. Powerful health and wellness discussion and interaction. This and every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Only on Power 106 FM.
so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up.
Where you say it's impacting, repeat where you say it's impacting. Repeat where you say it's impacting. Mix them up for me, please. Uh,
I hear it's full-fledged now for tomorrow.
oh, okay. Thanks.
I hear it's full-fledged now.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
Sir, you have interview 3:30.
I saw that. Yes. Okay.
Must have been cold there in my shed to never have sunlight on your face. You've been content to let me shine. You always walked a step behind. I was the one.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, and taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. There's a message from a listener, a voice note, who he wants to know what's happening with the Claremont water system and the extent to which it is negatively impacting the community of Ramble and heading to Tri-C near Bumperland, he says. And so we've put it out there. Let's see if we can. I'm not sure he wanted us to play the voice note, so let's put a pause on that. But if anyone in Claremont St. Anne is listening who has any information on this situation, a listener sent us a voice note asking what's happening with respect to the Claremont water system and the impact, which apparently is negative, the negative impact on the community of Ramble and the areas heading to Tri-C and Bumperland. If you have information, please share. Thank you very much. And what is this now? Let's go down the line and see who else is messaging us here on this very special International Women's Day observance. Velta Wilson says, Good morning. Do you know any do you know of any boys who would be interested in enrolling in the JCF Academy? It is a high school program for boys 15 to 17 where they board there and come home sometimes, not very often. The program offers 23 CXC subjects and it is all free. They will get a stipend of $50,000 monthly. So, for the duration of the program, you won't be responsible for them. They would graduate from the academy at age 18. However, they have a choice of going over to the JCF or leaving to do anything of their choice. Please make contact with me or direct them to me. Need info by Friday. And this is from Justice Robinson with contact numbers 876-992-2212 or 876-293-1450. And the person says, good afternoon. I saw this being circulated. Check it out to see if it is legit. That would be awesome, says Velta Wilson. Well, first time hearing about it. If you don't see it in the Gleaner or the Observer, if you don't hear it on Power 106 FM or Nationwide or RGR, it perhaps isn't true. Rohan Johnson of Atlas Security in Ocho Rios says, Happy Women's Day, all the women in the world, especially to my mother, Gloria, and my baby mother, Kathleen, a.k.a. Anne, coming from Rohan Johnson, Atlas Ochi, clocking in, he says. Another message. Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Thanks a lot for the way you're making us women feel today. We really appreciate the selection of songs so far. We're happy to hear that. Thank you very much for your message. Miss June in Norway, it's been a while. How are you? She says, good evening, good afternoon, still afternoon here in Jamaica. She says, today is International Women's Day and it is my birthday too. Well, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you, Miss June in Norway. Happy birthday to you and all the very best. The listener who goes by the name Bunty says, hi, Dervan. I think you have more thoughtful oh Lord, I'm trying to work this out. Everyone have a mother and we both love them, but something another, blind cannot lead blind. Every day belong to the God Almighty. So we must what's that? DESS. This foolish thought, Jamaica Day and Women's Day, many more stupid thought. We are misleadum. The English is a little off, but I think you're saying we don't need all these special days like International Women's Day, etc. And you're entitled to your opinion, Bunty. So it is. Obviously, those who have anything to do with daily observances, etc., obviously don't have a problem with marking special days. And so you might have to create your own calendar in that regard, Bunty. Good luck. Paul Campbell says, greetings, Dervan. Can you link me with one of... Okay. Uh-huh. All right. All right. Well, let's follow up on this one off air. This is program-related matters. All right. Sure, Paul Campbell. Thank you very much for sharing. Thank you for sharing. And we will be in touch. Take care. You're listening to both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. Let's see who else is messaging us. Here's Sean. Good afternoon, Sean.
Good afternoon, Uncle Dervan Malcolm. How are you doing, my teacher?
I'm fine, thanks. And you?
I'm great. Great so far. You're taking it easy. I'm going to give people positive message today. I want to say this to people out there. For those who are suicidal, please don't give away your life. Think before you do something like that. Talk to somebody. Your life is more important than that thing. Please don't do it. I want to say this to the people who look down on people all the time. Don't look down on anyone all the time. Talk to somebody who you can trust. When you feel down sometime, talk to a friend or a neighbor. Or speak to a counselor or something like that. People look down on us all the time negatively. I hate that about people. There are people who are going to look up to us and people who are going to look down on us because they don't understand what we as human beings are going through.
Well, you have expressed yourself clearly. Let those who have ears to hear hear.
Yes, because one thing I learned my lesson in life, there are people who are going to like us and people who are going to hate us. That's just the nature of life. You have people who are going to hate you. That's the nature of people.
So it
because
is.
you have people who are you have people who are going to tell lies on you. Don't pay attention to what the liars are saying about you. Don't listen to them. There are people who are going to criticize us.
That's a part of life.
Yes. All we have to do, we have to see is the one that created us. They have a saying in the Bible that says the devil come to kill and steal and destroy. And he's a liar and a deceiver.
We hear you loud and clear.
Yes, I have one more thing to tell you before I go. You are Mr. Professor and
You're very kind.
And motivator. Every time when I call in on your program, you're always motivating me. You're like a motivational speaker.
Thank you.
And happy International Women's Day to all the women out there, whether those women are entrepreneur, business, home women, and single mothers. Happy International Women's Day to all the women out there. I really love our Jamaican women.
We accept some of those greetings on their behalf.
Yes, we must empower our Jamaican women. We must appreciate them and love and respect them.
Well said.
Take care, my teacher. Have a great afternoon. I will talk to you another time when I have a very on my mind. Take care.
You
We'll
too.
talk with you guys.
All the best. Thanks for calling. Bye-bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Cherry Henry says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan and listeners. It's a nice and sunny day, isn't it, Cherry Henry? Ricardo Porteous in Glengoff, St. Catherine says, good afternoon, Dervan Malcolm, and thank God for life. Good afternoon, Ricardo. He's shouting out listeners all across the world as well. Greeting everybody. B. Jew in New York says, good afternoon, Dervan. Blessings always to you too, B. Jew in New York. Sophia Nemard is in Newell, St. Elizabeth. Good to have you on board, Sophia Nemard in Newell, St. Elizabeth. All the very best and take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. We're close to the break. Let's stand by for the break and come back with more here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:15.
That you're my hero.
Good afternoon to Gracie Shim. She says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm from Cold, New Jersey. Good afternoon, Gracie Shim from Cold, New Jersey. Thank you so much for connecting with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, on Power 106 FM. Good to have you on board. Thank you very much and all the very best. Here's a message from... well, it says, good afternoon, Dervan. That program at the JCF is real. I know a young, doesn't say who, but a young person, I would imagine, who is presently attending. Well, we thank you for bringing that additional information or that some kind of confirmation based on your knowledge and experience. Thank you very much for sharing. This one says, good day. I think it's past time for the police to give an update on the search for the accused in the Dr. Linfield murder. It has been months since he absconded after allegedly visiting his lawyer's office and then allegedly being dropped off by his parents in front of the Supreme Court. Time for an update from Crocs in Black River. Thank you very much, Crocs in Black River, for yet another reminder of our untimeliness in dealing with so many of these matters and similar incidents. Let's go to the phone lines once again, 876-922-4112-5. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Let's go to the phone line once again.
Are you ready for us? Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Howdy. Mr. Malcolm, I have to say that I do not agree with this idea that women, just because they're women, should be exalted and lauded by mankind. I don't get the point. What's so great about women just because they're women? Do women do wrong? Do women do evil? Are women a part of the problem, or they are not a part of the problem? My question is, are they a part of the problems we're facing today, or no? Or are they innocent, guiltless, and harmless?
I think you know the answers to all those questions.
How come they don't have Men's Day?
They do. There is International Men's Day.
Oh, I don't hear about it.
Yeah.
But I think it's all nonsense, though. You know, like,
Why do you call it nonsense?
because what does it gain? Okay, what do we gain from it? What do we get?
Oh, we get to celebrate our women on International Women's Day, and we get to specially celebrate our men on International Men's Day, which is the 19th of November, by the way.
Yeah, I see. Does it do anything for humanity, particularly, that we can see and touch and feel?
It depends on who you're asking and how they employ the day's observance, what they do with the day, how they deal with the matter of the observance. So different countries, different people, different organizations will treat it differently, and some, like you, don't care too much for these special days, and so
yes, it's true. I don't care for these special days. I know this. Well, there's nothing wrong with you informing us. You're telling us about this day and that day, and I say to myself, what is all of this? And half the people in the world don't even know it's going on.
Yeah. But isn't that something that one humble little individual in Jamaica decides to do that, just as a peculiar way of introducing a new edition of a program every day?
I don't think I get what you said. What? Someone introduce what?
Introducing this program.
Yes.
by noting what the international days are. I'm not sure. I haven't done the research. I'm not sure if uh, maybe there are different versions or variations, but I'm not sure of another. I don't know of another program which starts like that. In other words, what we're saying is the variety is the spice of life, and you don't have to like what I like, and I don't have to like what you like. But and so we just respectfully acknowledge, well, that is your thing, and this is my thing, and all the very best. So it is.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. One last thing. You're talking about equality, but we must always remember that much more money is spent on lauding women than it is on men.
Yeah, that's very well documented.
Yes, but and men are the ones paying for it too.
Absolutely.
So do you think that's equal and fair?
Well, that's one good reason to celebrate International Men's Day, to get that word out there.
I keep listening.
Thank you very much for staying in touch. All the best.
All right.
Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Miss Mervis.
You know, easy, you know.
As my late mother would say, who give a joke?
No, because they can't try to spin you and them think
them give, I give a laugh, yeah, I give laugh for peace soup. Yes.
You know, life is so funny. There's so much variety, as you say, out there, eh?
Yes.
Lot of mangoes. What if a woman, but him choose one, not so? Or half a dozen, whichever way him do it. Only about that, not so?
Indeed.
But him making choice. So what might have no use to him might have use to other people, not so?
So it is. I'll drop off ahead, drop on shoulder.
I don't know any other program like yours, you know. I listen all over the place.
Yes.
And I don't know any other program that give us all of the information about the days and what the months and the years and what they're about and so on.
And we haven't even scratched the surface yet, quite frankly.
But you know, this morning I was saying the very thing when I'm saying I look into it, and then the thought come back to me. That is why a while ago, you know, I'm talking the thought that I was saying it to my neighbor this morning about these days that we celebrate. I wonder if it's effective. And just as this man talking to you.
Well, they say great minds think alike, and you don't have to finish that.
Food sell them different. That just start to reflect my mind, you know. Dog memory lane, man, you know, answer to me. Because we pay no attention to them, that's why the world stays so. That's exactly what you said to me a while ago, you know.
Wow.
Because we pay no attention to them, that's why the world is in the condition it is in. Because when our minds are focused on certain things, instead of we take them and run with them, we forgot them. So you know, well, the scripture of the Bible, where God tell the Israelites, them pick up manna for 5 days, 5 days, and on the 6th days pick up for 2. Because you won't see any on the 7th day. And some pick up for 2 days and it's rotten from them. And some pick up for 1 day on Friday. And when they go out there Saturday, they don't find any. No, the Bible is something to read, you know, because mankind are not different, you know. The Bible is about man interaction and God interaction with man, and we're not different, you know, Dervan.
Right.
See and breathe. So, yes, these days coming up to remind of our thing, but we don't care, no, so. So we stay so. So, you know, from morning, me listening to the station, you know. And I was anxious to your program start. Because I know you're the only one who's going to serenade us. I've been listening to the business one and come up and talk about business women, you know what I mean? And on the internet, I mean, never hear that. And when we reach up at the sportsman, they may listen to sports women. I mean, I hear that. So I say, all right, man, me I wait for Dervan because I know I'm the only one. I got to serenade the ladies, you know. But whether them like it or not, you know, me just thank all the men who wish us happy happy Women's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and we know the men are important too.
Yes.
We both are important in God's sight. But none of us can do anything alone in some ways.
Mm-hmm.
So the Almighty, in 1992, 92 to 93, I was told to go and stand in the gap for the nation against a disaster that was coming upon it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what it was. I started a fast. I didn't know what to do. I was given a message to deal with certain things from the Wednesday after Gilbert. And I wasn't doing anything. I went to this meeting and this gentleman who I know not came from somewhere else to the meeting. Gave me a strong warning from God about when he said to me in 1988. And him not know me, I mean I know him.
Yes.
So when I come home now, I was at a 1 year course, a 1 year residential course. I was home the weekend and I said, God, what do I do? I wake up and he started to show me Nehemiah chapter 1. Where Nehemiah fasted and prayed over the wall, the city of Jerusalem, what it was like. And that is the focus him have me keep going with. So in the 92, I know when the young man give me the word of warning, me come on when him tell me that, me start a fast in Dervan.
Mm-hmm.
And I was connected to the Women's Aglo movement, and I remember the August I went to the meeting and asked them to help me pray over the nation. Something is coming on it. And whatnot. What God revealed was an earthquake that will leave Jamaica like Haiti.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? So about October, I asked him, instead of venting his wrath on the nation, what could be done to the nation when we ran out? And the first message he gave me, it's a good question. That is what people don't ask. They make some plans and program and give him that. They don't ask him any question. And it was yesterday, I think I heard Pastor Blair on a station saying, him say certain things to God and God them need more people that will listen to him. That's the problem. So here the message I'm going to read and done now. 1992 October. This is a message from God to all women and mothers. Stop for a while and take a long look at your nation of people. They all came from the womb of women. This is 92, So I mean, I know if they're doing anything with technology now. And 92 October, this was given to me. So women have carried the nation for 9 months, travailing pain to bring it forth. Change the diapers, sat up late with it at night, hurt when it hurt, smiled when it smiled. Those pretending to be high and mighty, depending on you for a safe entry into the world. Will you not rise up against the forces of evil in prayer, fasting, and deep intercession, and unitedly mother your nation back to sanity? Yes? And at the end of it, it says, be a mother to every child, and you and yours will be safer. This is a direct word from the Almighty to the women. I delivered this message in a pre-Mother's Day banquet in 1993 at Casa Maria Hotel to the Women's Aglo movement that had 13 chapters around the nation. I said it on several radio stations already. I put it in a newspaper and all that. I have the document here. I went to a women's caucus meeting shortly after the JLP came into power. And I gave copies of this message and longer stuff as to what the ladies need to do in the communities to help restore the nation. I gave a copy to Miss Babsy Grange, I remember, and all of the hierarchy down there at that meeting at Terranova. And I remember saying to them when they're telling the ladies how to protect themselves, it's like God said to me, so why don't they tell the men how to behave like human? Because some of the things that they're telling us not feasible. I don't drive, so I'm on the road. I am midway. I am not at center to know which vehicle to take. I stop a vehicle. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who I'm stopping, but you're midway. You see the person who got to center, you can pick and choose. When you're midway, I am at halfway tree. I took a bus. I'm going to another bay. Full of people in a Dervan.
Mm-hmm.
By the time the bus reached round a broad gate of me and one woman and the driver, the doctor alone left my bus, Not the full bus,
Uh-oh.
So you see, when we hear somebody say tell the women that we need to talk to the men. They were made and given an authority to do certain things. Yeah. And all this argument about woman beat up picnic, yes, because this strain and stress with the man that we take care of the picnic when the man them got left them. They might take it out for the picnic them for true. Yeah? I went to court and see a woman being brought there to court for beating her son. The son, she do some days work and see about 4 of them and she want them have struggle.
The boy take $1,000 go squander it as he beat him.
Sorry, Miss Mervis, we might have to reconnect with you. We have a couple of scheduled interviews lined up.
Bless up to all the women. And remember this message that a woman carry them for 9 months and bring them forth, and it take a lot of pain and agony if you push them out.
So it is. Thanks, Miss Mervis. Take care.
Help us protect Jamaica's borders. Tell us about any illegal guns coming through customs controlled areas. Call Crime Stop at 311. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
3:30.
The person is on. Yes. This is the number. Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm, and it's time for us to check in with another of our sponsors on board with us for the RGR Gleaner Communications Group Cross Country. And it's going to be this afternoon, Georgia Clark, brand manager with Sunshine Snacks. Hello, Georgia. How are you?
I am great. How are you?
I am fine. Thanks. Good to talk with you. Thank you so much for joining us here on Both Sides of the Story. Sorry, we weren't able to interview you on the road, but this works for the time being until such time. So then, what has the schedule been like though in terms of the various events, occasions, happenings, activities involving Sunshine Snacks? Just a general idea of how things have been going for you and the team so far.
Well, the team and I have been working. We're on the road quite a bit, of course. You know, we have joined you guys with our share Gleaner cross-country invasion. So we have been going from town to town. Prior to that, you know, we were in Montego Bay. We're with Dancing Dynamite with Jenny. So that was pretty good, watching all the talent. Before that, we're at Portuguese event. That was really good also, really good showcase of Jamaican talent. So we have been out and about. We've been very busy.
Mm-hmm. Well, that is quite clear. And how are there particular activities that have taken place that you would say really provided a platform for Sunshine Snacks in terms of how it was marketed or how you were able to interweave it in between the various, whatever the activities were?
Yeah, man, definitely. I think everywhere that we have been able to showcase our product, we have benefited greatly. You know, we have been able to do sampling of our products to introduce new products. We have been able, you know, like today, you know, on the road, we are doing a lot of deals, a lot of banded deals. So, for example, you can get 3 peanuts today for $100. You can get 3 Olays for $150. You know, so we have been able to really give really good deals and for us to be able to showcase what the new products are and what products we are pushing right now.
And I'm recognizing that, you know, just going back in memory, that there are several events that happened in 2022, which made it a busy year for you and the crew. Yes. And it's as if you haven't paused at all. You've hit the ground running in 2023.
Yes, we have. I mean, last year, you know, we had quite a bit of internal events for our staff. Outside of that, you know, we were at Dumpfest. Just about every event, every big event you could think of, we were there, and we're just very grateful to be able to be a part of all of these really good Jamaican platforms to showcase what Sunshine Snacks is about. You know, we have a lot of products from cheesies to peanuts to ripples to cheese puffs or caramel popcorn. There is just about a snack for everyone that you can think of.
I've seen that and I've experienced that and I've tasted it as well. But tell
Yes,
us now, though, why did Sunshine Snacks decide to return to the RGR Gleaner Communications Group cross country in 2023? Because this wasn't your first year, obviously.
no, no, it wasn't. And to be really honest with you, it was a no-brainer. You know, your platform, you know, the RGR, you know, cross, cross country invasion is one that allows us the touch points of getting into all of the towns, a lot of towns. You know, we're able to share what it is that we have to offer. We're able to have people taste what we have, you know, give us their honest feedback on our products because we bring that information right back. And it's always so good to give the deals. So, you know, customers who have loved us, people who are trying our product, it has been a win-win for us. And you guys have been very good at it in terms of giving us that platform. So it was a no-brainer, trust me.
Thank you very much. Well said. And you have this expression that I like. It says, well, it's about snacking under the sun. That's one of the themes or the general mantras that you have.
Yes, yes. We have been pushing it quite a bit. We think that just about every product that we have brings you a little sunshine. And we have a product, as I said prior, for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
From your into the age group of being able to snack, which is from, you know, children go right up to adults, we have a product for you. I'd be shocked if I didn't. You know? So if it is that you see us around, the team around, you know, come and snack with us. Snack under the sun.
Mm-hmm. Was there an area so far, or has there been an area so far that you were most excited to visit?
Can I tell you? I have to be so careful what I say. This is what I'm going to say.
Yes.
Every town has been amazing. And we are so happy to be welcomed, and we are so happy to give you what it is that we have to offer. So everybody is our favorite. Snack it under the sun.
You're quite the diplomat, Georgia. So you listed some of the brands earlier on. I don't think you exhausted them, but are there particular brands that are in focus for Sunshine Snacks in this 2023 iteration of the RGR Cleaner Communications Group cross country?
Yes. So we have a high focus on cheesies or peanuts, you know, ripples or potato chips, you know, cheese puffs or caramel popcorn. So, you know, just about anything within those lines is what we're pushing and giving you great deals on. So, you know, we just want to invite everyone out, you know, follow the pages and come out and support and get the deals and deals.
Yeah, absolutely. And no doubt we will always be looking out for something from Sunshine Snacks, one way or another. Anything in particular you would suggest that we look out for from Sunshine Snacks in 2023 and beyond?
All right. So there is a product. We had introduced it at Lofting Time just a few weekends ago, where we use our Olay chips. Pretty much what you do, we allow you to choose whatever flavor that you like of our Olay chips. Once it is that we get that package, we kind of push it a bit, and we have different toppings that we put right in the bag for you. So we have different sauces, we have beans, we have corn, we have salsa dip, and trust me, once it is that we put on those toppings that make you try it, you're going to fall in love. We have been having raving reviews, and we're going to be pushing it a lot more wherever you see us this year. So look out for us, and look out for Olay. We're here snacking under the sun, and we can't wait to have you.
Indeed. And then, of course, there's the Sunshine Snacks Cool School program. You're hiding a light under a bushel. You didn't tell us about that.
Oh, my. So we're working on some things behind the scenes. What I can say to you is that we have something for the kids. It's going to be pretty amazing. So just look out for it coming to a school near you. You know, and we're
Sounds
going to have
like
a lot of fun.
sounds like you're not ready to let the proverbial puss out of the bag, as we say in Jamaican terms. Not
Trust me,
yet.
we're bringing the sunshine. We're bringing it.
Well, we continue to wait with bated breath. In the meantime, no doubt the specials, the surprises, and the activities will continue. We want to wish you and the team traveling mercies as you continue to move across the country and spread the love and obviously the sunshine from Sunshine Snacks.
Thank you so much. It has been a pleasure. We continue to work with you, and you be safe as well.
Will do. Thanks a lot. All the
Thank
best.
you too.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Take care. Georgia Clark, that's Jorja. Georgia Clark, brand manager, Sunshine Snacks. One of our sponsors on board with the RGR Gleaner Communications Group Cross Country. Let's continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, on this International Women's Day. And there are some happenings, some events that have taken place pertinent to women. For example, 1912. On this day in 1912, Gladys Longbridge was born. She was born at Parson Reed, now Reed's Mountain, a tiny village near Ashton in Westmoreland, the daughter of Frank Longbridge, a farmer, and Rebecca, Miss Beck Blackwood. So that was 1912. In 1939, so that's one famous, outstanding Jamaican woman. Here's another on this International Women's Day. 1939, on this day in 1939, teacher and social worker and founder principal of the Morris Knibb Preparatory School in St. Andrew, Mary Morris Knibb, created history when she became the first woman to be elected to any of the island's representative political bodies at a by-election for a seat in the Kingston and St. Andrew Corporation. The vacancy was created by the then recent election of former councillor Ethelred Erasmus Adolphus Campbell as member of the Legislative Council for Kingston. She received 1,231 votes, defeating by more than 100% auctioneer James C. Chisholm, who received 544 votes, and merchant Cyril Campbell, who mustered 93 votes. Her victory was the result of the untiring work of women such as May Farquharson, Amy Bailey, and the Federation of Citizens Associations. The victorious candidate's supporters performed funeral rites for Campbell and the driver and attendants of an ambulance, which was set for the enthusiastic women at the Collegiate Hall when counting ended. We're told Chisholm is ill, very ill. Take him away. That's old-time campaigning, eh? No, we campaign differently in Jamaica these days. Here is another one. Let's see. After spending the night at King's House, Eleanor Roosevelt left Kingston to return to Fort Simmons, which subsequently became known as Vernam Field, the U.S. Air and Naval Base in South Clarendon, from which she flew back to Washington, D.C. after a 3-day visit to Jamaica. Here's another woman, Phyllis May Daly. She received a commission in the U.S. Navy Nurse Corps. She would become the first African-American nurse to serve duty in World War II. And we have more Jamaican women here on this International Women's Day to acknowledge. 1945, on this day in 1945, the first 4 female justices of the peace in St. Anne were appointed. At the time, they were Gladys Anderson Cox of Brownstown, Iris Simpson of Claremont, Marjorie Lyon of St. Anne's Bay, and Hannah Little of Ocho Rios. And coming up, we should state as well, here's another. The first sports awards presented by the Machado Tobacco Company happened on this day in 1962, the presentation to 12-year-old table tennis star Joy Foster, that's Maurice Foster's sister, and 26-year-old boxing champion Bonnie Grant. They were named Sportswoman and Sportsman of the Year 1961. And finally, for now, 1982, on this day, Lucille Mayer, a Jamaican, was the first woman to be appointed Under Secretary General of the United Nations. More on this International Women's Day. In fact, we have another Jamaican stalwart to tell you about when we come back.
Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106.
For any project, ABC Electrical Sales has all your electrical supplies at the best prices. 8 Hagley Park Road, Kingston, 754-3714. The time by ABC Electrical Sales is...
You have the info?
To know that I am yours forever. And I'll wear it like a shining star. Write your name across my heart. And I'll wear it like a shining star. Write your name across my heart. Across my heart. Oh.
Thanks a lot for staying with us on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM on this International Women's Day. Thank you very much for joining us. Just before we introduce to you another outstanding woman of excellence, let's clear a couple of messages. Our colleague Vivette Malcolm says, "Hi, Dervan, it's raining here. Raining where I am in Sydenham Villas in Spanish Town. You stay dry, Vivette Malcolm. Finally, we're getting some rain. Looks like you're the one who caused the rain to fall, Vivette Malcolm. You were hiding before now, and the moment you came out, so to speak, it's raining." I'm kidding, but good afternoon to you. Another one, this one says, "Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Just want to say Happy Women's Day to the women of the world from Glenroy, Wilmington." Thank you very much, Glenroy, Wilmington, for your message. Thank you. And here is Crocs in Black River. He says, "I suspect that the annual salary for one of the commissioners of the Integrity Commission would be sufficient for me to live off for the rest of my life if I was careful and thrifty. Yet I'm beginning to doubt their effectiveness and wondering what useful purpose do they serve. Because if it is almost time for the Prime Minister's integrity filings to be submitted for the year 2022, and yet those for the year 2021 have not as yet been cleared and published, what would be the point of the exercise if they just kept silent, take no action, and we all just have to sing, 'Don't you trouble Zion, and I shall not be moved'? The people should march on that useless organization and demand that they, to paraphrase a certain motto, work or leave." From Crocs in Black River. And that's a takeoff from the motto of my favorite motto, actually, the Cornwall College High School motto, which simply says, "Learn or leave." From Crocs in Black River, thank you very much for your message and all the very best to you. And now we are delighted and honored and humbled to be in the midst of greatness, if even via the telephone link. Uh, we have seen stories of her all over the news, all over the internet, in the local papers, the overseas publications, overseas media entities other than newspaper entities, university buildings named for this outstanding black senator, Maryland's first black senator. She receives a Lifetime Achievement Award. And let's just get right to the story. She is Jamaican-born Shirley Nathan Pulliam, a former Maryland state senator. What a day to be, to have the privilege of interviewing this great Jamaican. Happy International Women's Day to you. Good afternoon. How are you?
I hope that Mr. Scott told you that I had a stroke, and so because of
Yes.
that, my voice is not as clear. And those who don't know me think it's a man talking instead of a woman because my voice is affected by the stroke.
Mhm. Sorry to hear that, but we're encouraged that you have survived and are still able to share with us. We thank you
Yes,
for the honor of allowing us to share your story on both sides of the story.
Can I clarify one thing?
Uh-huh.
I'm not the first black senator.
Okay.
I am the first Caribbean born of Jamaican specifically.
Okay. Okay.
State of Maryland.
Well, thank you very much for that clarification. We're so excited we got ahead of ourselves in that regard. But
So we have the first black governor now with Jamaican descent.
well, you paved the way. You're one of the pioneers.
And he told me that.
Yes, indeed. All right. So, where in Jamaica do you identify with?
Well, I have three places.
Mhm.
I was born in Trelawney, near Sherwood Content, near where Shane Bowles come from.
Of course.
And I was raised in Montego Bay and Kingston.
And don't want to get you into trouble, but which of those areas would you say means
Well,
the
I
most
spent
to you?
most of my life in Kingston.
Okay. So born in Sherwood Content, Trelawney, raised in Kingston.
Montego Bay first, and then Kingston.
Oh, Mobe first, right?
And then returned back to Montego Bay as an older teenager.
So should we read too much into that return to Montego Bay then, in terms of
No,
where your loyalty lies?
my loyalty lies between both places, so it's hard to say.
Okay, understood. How much of those early years do you remember?
I have a very good memory of the early years.
Mhm.
When you get my age and having a stroke, your long time memory is even better than your present memory.
I can well imagine. Yes, and so as you reflect on where you're coming from and where you are, what kind of feelings are coursing through your veins at this time?
Well, I'm always puzzled that the Lord has brought me this far. You know, from this little girl born in Trelawney, grew up in Montego Bay, and went off to England to nursing school, and find myself in America, married, and in America, and realized that if I go back, I was this child, one that had problem reading, learning how to, didn't know the difference between B's and D's or M and N.
Oh, wow.
Could not tell time. Okay.
How
my
did
parents had me privately tutored. After I went to Michael practicing school, they had done me privately tutored, so I would be able to learn. And as a 9-year-old, I went to Kingston Public Hospital with rheumatic fever and heart disease, and so here I am.
You are a blessing. And
at 83 years old,
my
I have
goodness.
went off to nursing school in England, worried sick that I was going to kill somebody by miscalculating drugs. But the Lord helped me through that, and I was able to pass the exams in England and came to America and went off back to college again, got an Associate of Arts, then a Bachelor of Science degree from the University of Maryland, then a master's degree from Johns Hopkins University, two of the top universities in the United States.
You didn't waste any time at all, and you still had a family to take care of.
Yes, I had 3 children when I went back to school.
My word. Now, in terms of the health-related matters and cognitive development and so on, how did you get through that period of your life?
It was not easy. My mother and my father gave up on me. He thought that I was just plain dumb because he didn't know anything about dyslexia. He didn't know anything about learning disabilities. He just thought that I wouldn't try. And so he would always say that I was not going to become anything in life because I wouldn't get scared.
Mm-hmm.
But
just look at you now.
As I continue to pass exams and move up in the system, my father was actually at my graduation from Johns Hopkins when I got my master's degree, and he said to me, "Shirley, stop proving me wrong."
Wow!
So it was really exciting for me that he was present.
Mm-hmm. That's quite something very special. Now, in terms of your movements overseas, in terms of going to England to study nursing, was it?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. How did that come about? What was that the kind of profession that, as a child, you were one of those when asked what you wanted to do, you proudly said a nurse?
When I was 9, I spent my 10th birthday in Kingston Public Hospital in Edwina Ward. As a 9-year-old, I went in there at 9. I spent 3 months into my 10th birthday. And the nurses there took such good care of me that I swore that day that I was going to become a nurse. And nothing has ever changed my mind from I was 9 years old.
Mm-hmm. And what can you tell us with respect to how you found life in the UK versus life in America?
Well, they're different. It's kind of hard to really, because they're so different, so very different. The climate, the people, the food, everything is different. So it's kind of hard to compare.
Yes.
Okay. After I got to England and taste those foods that was not properly seasoned, and the cold weather hit me and the snow, I started crying and say, why am I here? If God wanted me to be here, I wouldn't have been born in Jamaica. But I was already there, so I had to do the best that I knew how.
Yes.
And I did. And while I was there, I met my husband, who was in the Air Force. And I was married in England, in Yorkshire, England.
Yes.
And then I joined him in America in 1960. I was married in 1960, and I joined him later that year.
Yes. And what of the children in terms of have they followed in your footsteps or daddy's footsteps?
No, not really. Not really. Okay. They're all individuals of their own.
Okay.
My oldest son probably is closest in my footsteps in terms of college and in terms of I'm also a business owner. I was a business owner for many, many years, over 30 years. Besides all the things I was doing, I owned a healthcare business.
Oh, wow. And that was in America?
In America. My son took over my business. And so maybe about 10 years ago, 10 or 12 years ago. And so from that perspective, he's very much like me. He's very involved in mentoring and into the community. And in his fraternity, he works hard. Yes. And so I realized that he has a lot of my qualities in terms of that.
Yes.
My daughter is daddy's girl. She doesn't take a whole lot off from me. But however, each child is different.
Yes.
And my youngest, his daughter, is closest to taking after me. His daughter is now in university at University of Maryland, and she is now getting the double master's. She's getting, a double degree, one in public policy and one in public health. So she came the closest to me, public policy and public health.
One moment, please. We need to take a break. Listeners, if you're just tuning in, you've been listening to our interview with Jamaica born former U.S. State Senator Shirley Nathan Pulliam. Guess where she's from? From where Usain Bolt is from, Sherwood Content. Wonder if she ever tried athletics. I'll ask her after the break.
At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
4 o'clock.
You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas.
Que ora es en espagnol, son las 4:01, que la retile en français, les 4h01. 现在 TDN 了4 DN 0 fen. A minute past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here, well, make that 2 minutes now, past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you had a checkup lately? If not, now is a good time. Let's not wait till we get sick to get a checkup. How about that? Checking in with more on your program, both sides of the story of Jamaica and Jamaicans at home and abroad. Our very special guest, Jamaican-born Shirley Nathan Pulliam, a former Maryland State Senator, recently honored with the Lifetime Achievement Award by the Jamaica Association of Maryland. That was at a gala celebrating Jamaica's 60th year of independence, which was held in Baltimore. And we've been learning more of the story of Shirley Nathan Pulliam, and we're grateful to be able to have this interview, considering the foregoing, as was mentioned at the start of the segment, of Senator Pulliam having suffered a stroke and still strong enough to speak with us, and we're honored to be able to carry through on this interview. Thank you so much, Senator Pulliam, for being so gracious in accommodating us. Thank you.
And Mr. Malcolm, let me clarify one thing again. I did receive Living Legend Award from the Jamaican Association of Maryland. And I received the Lifetime Achievement Award a year ago. But I received the Living Legend Award in August.
Okay, thank you very much.
And so I wanted to. And I am the founding mother of the Jamaican Association of Maryland.
Well, there you go. Look at that. So you're quite a body of work. Have you done any writing in terms of publishing your memoirs or any other form of publication of significance?
I have just finished my memoir, and it is Johns Hopkins University Press. I've just signed the publication contract with University Press to publish my book. But it probably won't be out until the end of this year or early next year.
Well, we're definitely looking forward to getting our copy of it. How would you describe this publication?
Well, memoir, as well as my life in the legislature and the areas of health disparity that I champion, black folk healthcare.
Mhm. Oh, I gather that, and we've seen it globally, that COVID-19 has revealed uh, a lot of shortcomings in terms of how people of color have been treated in
Yes.
the healthcare system.
As a matter of fact, the chancellor of the university said just that at the unveiling of my name in the building. He said, for 25 years or more, Senator has been trying to educate the legislature about racial and ethnic disparities and how it impacts the life, the morbidity and the mortality rate of black people and brown people. And if they had listened and paid attention, maybe we wouldn't have so many people died during that period.
Mhm. Uh, do you get a sense of urgency in dealing with this matter? Do you sense that again COVID-19, the impact of COVID-19 might have triggered a possible changes, possible uh, practical changes to the system as it currently is?
Well, you hope so. But you know, racism is alive and well. So you don't know. You have to take one day at a time and see and hope and pray that there are more people like me yelling and screaming about this issue, that there will be changes. I would believe that's probably one of the reasons why University, Johns Hopkins University Press decided to publish my book.
I see. And what can you tell us with respect to retirement? What has this period of your life been like so far? Is it what you thought it would be?
No, not having a stroke. No, not being sick.
Yes.
That was not a part because my team was the nursery of political health. I was very busy. I was multitasking many things, running a business, being a state legislature, taking care of children, grandchildren, you name it. I was very much involved in every aspect of life. So this is the time, and I retired because I was ill, not because I was ready to retire. I would not have retired until this past November or January, I would say. Then I would have retired because my election carried me through January of 2023. But unfortunately, I had to retire before because I had some back problems and then with a lot of pain. And then right after that, I had a stroke. So that's why I retired.
You obviously are quite strong. Where do you get that strength from? I'm going to do this. I'm going to move ahead with this.
Maybe from the green bananas and yam and cocoa and ackee and saltfish and all the Jamaican food that I've been eating all these years. Maybe that's where it comes from. And I come from strong parents.
Yes.
My father was a self-made man. My mother was also very two strong individuals. So I didn't, when I came to America, I was very shocked at many things that I saw, things that we in Jamaica take for granted. And when I came here, I thought for sure a country as rich and powerful as America had all those things in place. And they did many times, they did not. And I went with my husband to visit his family in the South. I saw situations that still exist in Jamaica, right there. And I couldn't believe it. And I realized that in America, there's a land of opportunity. But if the color of your skin happened to be black, it wasn't for everybody.
So is it fair to say that at points in your life, based on how you view the treatment of minorities or so-called minorities. Uh, they did it cause you to get into what John Lewis called good trouble?
Yes, many times. Because when I began to bring these issues forward in the legislature, they did not. Many times I would say invisible.
Mm-hmm.
I was very much invisible. Nobody wanted to address those issues.
Yes.
But I continued to put in bills after bills and and educate them one after the other until I eventually began to get these bills passed.
So, is it fair to say that you have managed to achieve some level of, for want of a better term, success?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
No ifs and buts. If I didn't receive some level of success, my name would not be carved into a multi-million-dollar student center at the University of Maryland.
Yeah. Can you sorry, can you tell us a little bit about that extraordinary accolade and recognition?
Well, I want to tell you that upon my retirement, I have rooms and rooms and rooms of awards, and there's no place to put them. And, and there's so many people who have recognized me over the years for the work that I was doing. And so it was very fitting that the School of Nursing created an endowment in my name and scholarships to give out to other nursing students. And then they put me on the board of visitors. And right after that, the visionary pioneer went up. And then they decided there's a woman named Esther McCready who sued the Thurgood Marshall Supreme Court judge, and they sued to get black students admitted to that University of Maryland School of Nursing. And so her name is on one side of the building, and mine is prominently on the outer side of the building.
That's
and so, but that is a tremendous honor.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still in cloud nine. Because how many people live to be my age and to be able to see all the work that they have done, and also to be honored in that manner.
Yeah, that's an outstanding achievement. Outstanding. So, as it is now, do you do you normally follow what's happening or not happening in Jamaica? Do you have time for that?
I sure do. Not completely as I used to when I was much younger, but I did, because I work very closely. I know recently we had the loss of Richard Burnell.
Oh yes, may his soul rest in peace.
I love Marvin, and we're very good friends. And Richard's death was very sad to me. However, because I worked very closely with Keith Johnson all the way up. I worked very closely, especially with Richard and many of the other ambassadors that came. So I was very much involved in what's happening in Washington, D.C. And many times when they wanted to talk and to meet with some of the top officials in the Congress, in the U.S. Senate, or in the House, I would be involved in the process. And my mentor is a man named Leopold Edwards. He was my original mentor, Leopold E. Edwards. He was the father of the Caribbean, but I loved him dearly. And he always said that we Jamaicans come to the United States and said, we're going to go back in a year or two, and 50 years is still here. So he says that you need to get involved in boards and commissions and run for political office. So he had a lot to do. And Ambassador Curtis Ward, all of those were people who mentored me as I move forward.
Well, we want to thank you very much and salute you for the tremendous service you have given to mankind, I dare say. and we trust that your work will continue to have ripple effects in a positive way across Jamaica, America, and indeed the entire world. Thank you so much for your service to humanity, and all the very best.
I wanted to say that I was also honored by Portia, since our Prime Minister.
Oh, can you tell us that after this break, then, please? One moment, please. Listeners, if you're just tuning in on this International Women's Day, we're featuring former Jamaican born Maryland State Senator Shirley Nathan Pulliam, who is another of Jamaica's uh, decorated, uh, uh, outstanding citizens, both in Jamaica and the diaspora. One moment, please.
You raise me up to more than
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:16.
you raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. Raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be.
We've been featuring another outstanding Jamaican in the diaspora. This time, it's Shirley Nathan Pulliam. The University of Maryland has honored her, naming a building in the university's School of Nursing after her. Uh, uh, Shirley Nathan Pulliam, the first Jamaican born individual to attend the School of Nursing. She was featured at the ribbon cutting ceremony earlier this year on the 30th of January for the school's newest multi-million dollar wing. She was praised by Dr. Bruce Jarrell, the University of Maryland president, for her outstanding work in healthcare. In addition to having a building named for her, she will be awarded an honorary doctorate in public health from the university, which will coincide with her 84th birthday in May 2023. That's May this year, of course. Describing herself as a champion for the poor, the underserved, and the needy, Nathan Pulliam said it was an honor to receive the award, adding that she was glad, "I am alive to see it." And so she's still with us. Thank you very much again for your time, Shirley Nathan Pulliam. It's good to have you with us, and wanted to give you an opportunity to share that story, that experience of being honored by former Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Portia Simpson Miller.
Yes, I wanted to tell in 2014, I received the Prime Minister Award, or Appreciation Award, at the Pegasus in Jamaica.
And it sounds like, notwithstanding the rooms of awards and trophies and medals and medallions that you have earned, that one meant a lot to you and still does mean a lot to you.
It sure does. And I would say that I do have another honorary doctorate that I received in 2021 from the Coppin State University, where a Jamaican happens to be the provost, Dr. Leopold Lewis. And they presented me with the honorary doctorate in humane letters. So
Yes.
I will be receiving 2 honorary doctorates.
And deservedly so. Outstanding work you have done and continue to do. I get the impression you even now are still quite active in terms of from the brain to the body, notwithstanding the challenges here and there.
You're right, because yesterday I was visiting outlet. People are asking me for recommendations for different positions that they're applying for under a new governor. So here I am sending out letters of recommendation. And so it never stops.
Clearly.
Always somebody.
Yes. Well, we definitely want to wish you long life and good health. You are truly a champion in so many respects, and we want to salute you on this International Women's Day. And trust, as we said, that according to I was reading earlier on, uh, but essentially somewhat okay. According to Dr. Jane Kirschling, Dean of the University of Maryland School of Nursing, Nathan Pulliam was honored by the school where she started her career in recognition of alumni who paved the way for future generations of nurses of color to enter the nursing profession. Dr. Kirschling added that uh, she wanted the ceremony honoring Nathan Pulliam to inspire other nursing students to know that their actions can also have a major impact and that they should continue pushing for equality, health equity, and advocacy for all of Maryland's people. State officials in Maryland described her as a phenomenal graduate of the nursing school. And the accolades continue to come in. Yes,
Thank you
Senator,
so very much.
it's been a
Could I
pleasure.
just say one thing?
Sure.
I would like to say on this International Day, I would like to raise my hat to Margaret Burnell.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's the widow of Ambassador Richard Burnell.
Yes, she's been a champion for Jamaica.
Yes, yes, yes. We
So thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, and thank you so much for all that you have done and all that you continue to do in service to humanity. Thanks a lot. Blessings to you, and we wish you good health as you continue. If we could borrow the words from Jamaica's national pledge, to play your part in advancing the welfare of the whole human race. Well done. Thank you. All the best. Take care, listeners. We thank you so much for making it both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. And we thank you for sharing in this experience of speaking with this interviewing this outstanding Jamaican of international repute, Jamaican born Shirley Nathan Pulliam, former Maryland state senator, who has been honored and is still being honored, and born in Sherwood Content, same place as Usain Bolt, Sherwood Content in Trelawney. Grew up raised in Montego Bay and Kingston. Also studied and worked and served in England and obviously the United States of America. We thank Derek Scott and the team at Jamaica's embassy, the Jamaican embassy in Washington, D.C., for uh, their role in allowing us to interview these outstanding Jamaicans. Just this week we have done at least two already, two or three, two, maybe two, and now the privilege and honor of interviewing Jamaican-born Shirley Nathan Pulliam, former Maryland state senator. Thank you so much for making it your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM, the story of Jamaica and Jamaicans at home and abroad on this International Women's Day. Let's clear some more of these messages. This one, Andrea Jackson says, "Good afternoon, everyone. Blessings to you, Dervan from Gotha, Florida." Thank you very much. Gotha, I'm hearing about that place for the first time. Gotha, Gotha, Florida. Andrea Jackson says, "Thanks for the shout out on International Women's Day." You're welcome, Andrea Jackson. Velta Wilson says, "Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm and listeners. Happy International Women's Day to all women all over the world." We join you in conveying those sentiments, Velta Wilson. Carla Brown says, "Hi, Mr. Malcolm. A lovely and pleasant afternoon to you and to all the family members of both sides of the story. Happy Women's Day to all the ladies who are tuned in. I would like to get Miss Mervis's number. I once had it, but that phone accidentally got damaged and no longer works. So would appreciate if I could get it again. Thanks much and have a wonderful day. If you could send me a message, please, on the usual 365-3346, just send me a message and I will send Miss Mervis's details to you. The number is 876-365-3346. So you send that to me, to the company phone assigned to me, and I'll forward your message to Miss Mervis. Natalie Winter says, "Hey, Dervan, could you please tell me when is Mother's Day?" I don't know. I haven't checked that day on the calendar yet. But since you have asked, although by now you would have figured it out, Sunday the 14th of May. Sunday the 14th of May. Velta Wilson says, "Empower women." Velta Wilson again says, "Thank you, Senator. We are proud of you." That's Senator Shirley Nathan Pulliam. And over on YouTube, Sean Chambers, maintaining a presence. Sir T, good afternoon, Durban, says Sir T. Sir T says, "That soon come." I'm not sure what soon come, Sir T. Maybe you can tell us. Asha Ash says, "Good afternoon, Mr. Durban. Just tuning in from London, England. Welcome as usual, Asha Ash." Dwight Spence says, "Bless up to all. Just joined in." Welcome, Dwight Spence. All the very best to you. And thanks for making it both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. Let's take a look at the text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. Lloyd Berry, aka King Lloyd, says, "Good day to you, Mr. Dervan. Good afternoon to all women. Globally, from Lloyd, aka King Lloyd, and the half of all males," or you mean on behalf of all males. "How to celebrate International Women's Day around the world. Women celebrate with well wishes and get togethers. In the United States, the response is more muted. Women around the world will celebrate International Women's Day on Wednesday. In Russia, flower sales reportedly double as women are gifted blooms. In China, women get the day off." Really? Of all places, in China, women get the day off work. I didn't know that. Considering the general work ethic of the Chinese, goodness, day off. And in Uganda, government agencies hold national celebrations for women. In European and Latin American countries, March 8 has been a day to rally in support of gender equality and against violence towards women. But in the United States, the day is treated much like any other. The message says, "My friends and I don't celebrate over brunches or give cards and flowers. In my experience, women in the United States are missing out on it. One more time for all women. Happy Women's Day." Mr. Dervan, did you know that the Purple Heart is the highest heart you can get in the United States Army? think I've heard that much. King Lloyd, uh, thank you very much. More in a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:30.
Dr. Jackie Campbell is on call this and every Wednesday evening at 8 with Powering Your Health. Powering Your Health is Power 106 FM's flagship program dedicated to health and wellness. Your one-stop place to power a healthy lifestyle. How can we help you to power your health? You can reach the show anytime by calling 876-922-41125 or by sending a text or WhatsApp message to 876-279-8598. Brought to you by Benson Pharmacy and Wellington Dental. That's Powering Your Health. Powerful health and wellness discussion and interaction. This and every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Only on Power 106 FM.
Que ahora es en español. Son las 5:29. Quelle heure est-il en français? Il est 5h moins 29. 现在地点了5点加29分. 29 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you done your homework yet? If not, now is a good time. Good afternoon to all the students listening to us, all the schoolers from the early childhood level to the secondary level. Trust you had a productive day of learning today. Hope you also managed to get in some physical activity, just as important as mental activity. As we always say, young people, socialization makes you educable, education makes you trainable, training makes you employable, and the right attitude makes you successful. Homework time, young people. And parents and guardians, do you know where your children are? Are they where they're supposed to be? Doing what they're supposed to be doing? It's a good time to check up on the children. A good time for us to continue with more on your program, both sides of the story. Cuban in Georgia says, Sir Malcolm, that young man has no love for the ladies. Happy International Women's Day to all women and girls across Jamaica and the world. Miss Mervis, I can't believe you can't drive. Everyone should learn how to drive, especially our senior citizens. It's never too late to drive. Sir Malcolm, the big trench that the cement company dug out is something about the right location to build a modern-day dam to service the entire Kingston and St. Catherine to help alleviate the water supply crisis in the corporate area. The cement company has been mining up there in the hills of Rockfort. I'm just wondering, why haven't we looked for a suitable location for the building of a new first-class dam? I salute the Congress women. Happy International Women's Day, Congress women. Well done. Sir Malcolm, where is Dr. Peter David Phillips? We want to hear from Dr. Phillips because he has a lot more to give to the Jamaican people, and I'm calling on Dr. Phillips to meet with the opposition leader to get Jamaica back on track with our economy and people living in dignity, love, and peace once again, says Cuban in Georgia. Thanks for your message, Cuban in Georgia. Neville, otherwise known as Salah, says, Dervan, did you know that Mrs. Gladys Maud Longbridge came from that same little district, Parson Reed in Westmoreland? I know her relatives well. We all grew up together. I was there in December, my sister living there just yesterday. She was telling me that the roads have been fixed. And I knew most of her family. I know her father well, Jim Blackwood. Small world it is, Neville, Salah. Thank you very much for sharing that bit of information with us here on your program, both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Still taking your calls on 876 922 4112 to 5. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, man. Anyway, you was reading some text here and was about to pay that tip. But you said the person wanted to be used in terms of water problem leading from Rambler to Bumper Mountain or something like that.
Yes.
Well, last week I spoke to you had a co-host here last week Thursday pertaining to water problem. Maybe the person didn't hear it at that time.
Oh.
Because those people in Rambler, Coulter Grove, Claremont all around, those people get water from the pastoral pumping station. But with the pumping station virtually in the center of the town, you know that for over 1 year now, every Wednesday night they cut off water and people in Claremont and surrounding areas.
You're lucky it's only Wednesday nights. There are people who have it off every night.
Hey, but if we have the pumping station virtually in the area, and you are unable to get water because of dislocation by the water being cut off, what about those people who never fortunate enough to see water in the areas from the barn? And that is the dilemma that the people face in Southeast St. Anne. And the Water Commission people were in Claremont about 2 weeks ago. What they came about is to collect outstanding arrears, to bring people on the system who have outstanding arrears by having them pay certain fees and ask people to report leak. You have Water Commission personnel. They should be out there checking for leaks and reporting to the head office to have it corrected. And water that is running to waste, then they would report it and have those dealt with. And roads that are dug up in order to extract water would be reported and those corrected. Because the Water Commission is losing revenue now, which it need to have water provided in areas that don't have water. And this time now when you have the perennial water problem, and they come and tell you about chucking of water, and government is going to provide money for chucking of water. People are going to be in problem because some of them don't even have the containers in order to collect any water. We are in a serious situation in this country, and they say water is life. But when they don't have water, they are virtually a walking dead. And even down in Edentown, the member of parliament was saying that she made a recommendation for water. And there's a place near Green Park near to the same Prosperal that they proposed many years back to provide water. And no water has been presented. What we have is a situation of a dismal record where water is concerned by the member of parliament. And the council is not providing any assistance in terms of water allocation that they get from the parish council.
Has the constituency been whether recently or in the past told exactly what is happening or why the problem persists? Has that explanation?
What we have is politics and secrecy, you know. Where the henches make connection from phone and they allocate benefit to certain people, and the majority of the people sit by and watch things that are happening that is not for the development of the community and the constituency and the individual and a whole. It's only time like this when they can't get water. Then somebody beware as to exactly what good political representation entails. Members of parliament must come and meet with people and give account for their stewardship as to what they have done and what they plan to do for the next financial year, so that the people can make recommendation and have an input into exactly what they need. And that is where we are falling down. We lack representation, and I know that you're a
But
man
the
that
but
brings.
the people have more than enough power to bring to book those who are out of line in terms of not delivering on the kind of service that you would see them or hear them talk about during campaigning and so on.
Yeah, yes, Mr. Malcolm. But when you are 37% turnout, you will believe that people have any power.
Oh no,
From the system and said nothing good not going to
yeah,
occur.
the people have the power, but if they don't exercise it, then they will just have to deal with the results of not exercising your power.
Of course, and they need to wake up and smell the coffee and talk about them not deal with this and that. They better become agitators and activists for development and put away their color, whether them is green or them is orange. If you, I know that you're a man that follow the media, and if you look in the St. Ann Parish Council report at the last meeting, they're telling you about water problem in Northwest St. Ann, at Minard and other place. They tell you about problem in Northeast St. Ann. You have problem in Southeast St. Ann. The greatest one is the Claremont and adjoining areas that the council made no mention of. And I even hear people on another program congratulating a member of parliament for Southwest St. Ann, Mr. Main, but at the same time making mention about lack of water. So I know that you will be coming under pressure because Mr. Main, as a new member of parliament, a young man in the game, is doing a good job. But people will pressure where water is concerned. And the moderator told me last week that the MP for St. Ann Southeast said before the last election that she never have any water and adjoining constituency of water. And I had to tell him that the same problem exists in Southwest St. Ann. And it's a problem all over Jamaica when the people talk about dam. You need money to provide dam. And you will read from the Guinea archives. If you look back into the Guinea archives, you will see in 1973 when they were telling the people about cloud seeds. And you can get rain from cloud. And bring a man from Tanzania near Juros, Nyerere. And say Nyerere means bring off rain. And he said, don't come with those frivolous pronouncements. No. But the position is the people are without water. And the people need good representation. And those in the offices at the Water Commission need to come out and check as to exactly what is happening outside. Because nobody should be asking what has caused non-provision of water in any area around Claremont and adjoining area when we have a well right beside here. And at the same time, you see pipe along the main road. And there are farming operations not far from there that you have to wonder if water is not going to farms at the expense of people at particular time. We need investigation as to the operation of the Water Commission.
Is there are there opportunities for constituents at the local level to be able to ask questions at parish council or municipal corporation meetings?
No, man, nobody now go down them and I know council and I keep them meeting with them.
No, are there opportunities for that? Are there is that part of the process or isn't
no,
it?
that is not part of any process. They will generally call fire personnel, police personnel, etc.
So no members of the public invited to no members of the public invited to municipal corporation meetings?
No, man, they don't deal not like that. They only talk about civic committee and people that are not interested in them, the kind of thing there. We never run behind them, the kind of
So
thing.
what if people wanted to invite what if people wanted to invite themselves to the meeting to demonstrate whatever whatever issues they're having, and whatever concerns uh, that are impacting their lives negatively.
Nobody now going to take no interest in them that kind of thing there again. That's why you see the voting population gone down to 37%.
One moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:45.
Like a shining star, write your name
Soon tell you.
across
I'll tell you.
my heart. Oh yeah. For you, my life is an open door. Everything I have is yours. I'll try to give you everything you need. But as far as love goes, there's a lifetime guarantee. Write your name across my heart. I want the world to know that I am yours forever. I'll wear it like a shining
The second one.
star.
The second one.
Write your name across my heart.
Yeah.
In all my thoughts, in all I do, in all I say, I belong to you with every breath I take. Write your name across my heart. I want the world to know that I am yours forever. And I'll wear it like a shining star. Write your name across my heart.
A celebration of women on this International Women's Day. ¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 5:13. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 5:13. 现在几点了？5:30 13 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Good afternoon to all working Jamaicans tuned into both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. It's a good time for us to ask ourselves, how productive have we been today? How productive have we been today? Continuing with more here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Here's a message we missed yesterday from Venus. It's been ages since we last heard from Venus. She says, hello, Dervan, good afternoon. You know, when JLP was in office 2007 to 2011, the JLP gave the teachers a handsome increase. I can remember a lot of us were saying after that increase, where earnings up to 1.5 million, they do not pay any income tax. Passing many government places and schools, it was like passing a car mart. Workers bought cars, etc. Some fixed up their houses. Now to hear teachers talking down, which gave the biggest increase ever. I heard a PNP there. If we should be saying it is all politics. Venus, if you ask any president of the Jamaica Teachers Association, they will tell you in the most consummate professional way that they serve their members and by extension the education system or the education sector. But Over the years, there have always been people who have commented on positions taken during one administration or another by one union or another, etc., etc. But the trade unionists will tell you that they are looking after the interest of the workers. So there you go. Let's continue. Richie Nibar has sent us a link. Uh, Whenever we're able to, we'll see if we can look at that, Richie. This one says, but Leslie, is the Jamaica Labour Party in power? Your party. So what is happening with the water crisis in Jamaica, and what your government going to do about the situation? Asks Cuban in Georgia. Marie in New York says, Dervan, hope all is well with you. Bob Marley rightfully says in one of his songs that in the abundance of water, the fool is thirsty. Why in the land of wood and water, as the meaning of the name Jamaica suggests, the people are thirsty? I guess Jamaica lacks visionaries in the political directive. Marie from New York. Thank you, Marie in New York, for your message. LL Richie Rich from Florida says, good afternoon, Dervan. Great program and salutations to the Congresswoman Pulliam. I've noted on at least 2 occasions on which you've mentioned the work ethic of the Chinese. I'm not saying it's not worth mentioning. However, I'd propose that the same credit be given to the work ethic of Jamaicans. Case in point, the just completed interview with Senator Pulliam. That's good work ethic. And she's Jamaican. Multiply her work ethic 1,000 of times by Jamaicans at home and abroad. No ill intent towards you, Dervan, just an observation. Jamaicans have awesome work ethic also. You are a perfect example. You're too kind. Thank you very much, Richie Rich from Florida. And Cuban in Georgia it looks like he was writing another message. Thank you for those messages. Keep them coming. Let's clear uh, uh, the regular call-in lines 876-922-4112 to 5. Text line same as the WhatsApp number 876-365-3346. Marcel Worrell, good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for tuning in and watching and listening on YouTube. And oops, what did I do now? See these touch screen things. Let's get it back together. There we go. Down, and there we go. All right. So as we get ready to wrap today's edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, here on Power 106 FM, we continue to acknowledge and to celebrate our women. And so for this year, we perhaps won't have enough time to go through all of it. But essentially, suffice it to say that there's a lot to learn about International Women's Day in terms of the history. It's, of course, the 8th of March every year. And this year it falls on a Wednesday. International Women's Day is a United Nations sanctioned global holiday. It celebrates women's contributions to society, raises awareness about the fight for gender parity, and inspires support for organizations that help women globally. And as far as the history goes, according to the United Nations, International Women's Day started in America in 1909 when the Socialist Party of America took to the streets to honor garment workers who had protested against inhumane working conditions the year before. They called it National Women's Day and it took place on February 28. The following year, the Social International established Women's Day in Copenhagen to celebrate those working for women's rights and universal suffrage. In 1911, Austria, Denmark, Germany, and Switzerland celebrated the first official International Women's Day on March 19. More than 1 million people attended rallies focused on suffrage, representation, education, and workers' rights. Over the next few years, more countries in Europe marked the holiday on March 8. It wasn't until March 8, 1975, when during International Women's Year, the United Nations celebrated it as an official holiday. Since 1975, the holiday has gained awareness around the globe as a way to recognize women. And the International Women's Day theme, if we do not lift up women and families, everyone will fall short. Well, those are actually the words of the US Vice President Kamala Harris. If we do not lift up women and families, everyone will fall short. So, and there are other notes and messages. And we encourage you to check out all right, let's give you the theme as we wrap. The International Women's Day theme for 2023 has yet, it's break, is it break? No, I think we're still seeing the one from last year. Where is the 2023 hashtag revolution? All right, that's the hashtag. Can we thank you once again for the privilege of serving you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, for today, Wednesday, the 8th of March, International Women's Day 2023. The moving finger writes, and having writ moves on, nor all your piety nor wit shall lure it back to cancel half a line, nor all your tears wash out a word of it. All things being well, Both Sides of the Story returns tomorrow afternoon, 2 to 5, live from Bennett's Catering Hall, not too far from Black River High School. It's their annual Step into the Future series, and we look forward to seeing you in Black River, St. Elizabeth tomorrow. Bennett's Catering Hall, to be precise. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm reminding all of us that every day is an opportunity to do better than yesterday. Take care.
Might have appeared to go unnoticed.
I'm Mrs.
But
Barker.
I've got it all here in my heart.
Happy to hear that.
I want you to know.
I know, I thought about you when I was listening to it. Mm.
I would be nothing without you.